we're back, or at least I'm back. It's the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. Inside sports, fantasy football. Also, as well, we'll be doing that coming up here in the next month or so. It's getting ready to be football season, so we'll cover it like no one else at Inside Sports Fantasy Football. No Joe tonight. He is busy entertaining guests, and then tomorrow he is also off because he's going to be at the Dodgers game. So he's got a busy weekend, but you can always catch him at Simblades with a Y.com. What's up, cool bro? What's up, Xbox? Hopefully you guys caught earlier today the squabbling crew of Michael Heinrich, Laker Tom, and Jamie Sweet. They're known as the Lakerholics. They were on earlier today. Always appreciate them taking up some time here, providing you with some great content and some great conversation. They talked about the Lakers here in Vegas and in other betting circles being rated at 44.5 on the win scale for this upcoming season. Like it? Don't like it? I'll touch on it probably later this week with Joe or maybe one of the other guys here coming up here in the next couple of days. But yes, they got a chance to touch on it. So go ahead and check out that show as well after I'm here with you. Or also check out what they do each and every day at Lakerholics.com. Our good friends also as well. Legend 350, I hopefully will be able to talk to him tomorrow about his thoughts on the Summer League. Looking forward to see if I can catch up with him. Always a good man. Go ahead and check out what he does at _legend 350 indeed. So go ahead and check him out there on YouTube. Plus also as well our good friend Stone Hansen. He's always busy on Twitter at report_court. There you go right there. Plus our good friends Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Yo! Also as well, of course, our good friends Empire Jeff TV. Always does a great job on his channel. Lakers in 5. They've always got a great crowd there as well, talking Lakers for hours on end. Of course, John McCallion channel, all these great channels, please support and please get us. We're getting so close. We're at just under 1,800 subscribers at 1,790, going strong and looking for more. So please, if you haven't subscribed to it yet, please subscribe today so you get the latest notifications on when we go live right here at the Lakers Fast Break podcast. Well, Team USA in London gearing up for the Olympics with a tune-up today against Wenyan Gabriel, JT Thor, and the rest of South Sudan. And then the Lakers were finishing off their summer league. A very interesting summer league, to say the least, today in a consolation game against the Chicago Bulls. So we'll hit up Team USA first. Team USA, as I talked to Joe the other day, I asked him, I said, Joe, you any concerns? Because you have at times Team USA not giving you 100% focused effort. If they don't shoot well from behind the three-point line, that's when they have a tendency to get beat. And he's like, doing this usual Joe gruff, type deal. I should have no problem. Well, today was a very unfocused effort, especially on the defensive end and the perimeter, as they gave up 3 after 3 after 3. 14 threes overall for Sudan, 42% from behind the arc. But Team USA themselves struggled at 25% from behind the arc. And they found themselves down by double digits for a large chunk of the game until the second half came around. The second team came out to start the half, and Steve Kerr really put things into motion then. He said, and he's taking a lot of heat and he's taking a lot of the blame for himself for the lack of preparation against South Sudan. So he's putting a lot on himself. And I'd say that's probably right, because they were unprepared today for what was coming to them. Wenyan Gabriel, of all people, hitting threes. JT Thor. Also as well, I want to go ahead and give a big shout out. I know this name is not familiar to you, but Carlick Jones chucking up 19 threes, hitting 7 of them, getting a triple-double himself, 22 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists. Again, They fought hard against Team USA. They did go down late, but regained the lead with just a few seconds left. But who comes to save the day but none other than LeBron James? Getting the ball with 8 seconds left, driving layup to score the winning basket. And for him, his best game so far playing in Team USA, 23 minutes, 23 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, and another pretty good game for AD, although shooting-wise, for only 4 of 12. He did get 15 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 block shots, but they were the 2 best performers on Team USA in a game that, again, Team USA took very lightly with a 101-100 victory. Shout out to South Sudan because they played hard. They played hard. When they lost the lead in the fourth quarter, they could have actually just, folded up the tent and just said, we're out. We have a moral victory here. But no, they fought hard, regained the lead, and almost stole it away from Team USA. And Team USA, again, needs to regain its focus. And I talked to Joe about this. I said, look, if they're hitting their shots from the outside, nobody's beating them. Absolutely no one, because they're that good. But if there are days where they're not hitting their shots from the outside, they turn the ball a little bit over, a little bit too much, lose the focus as far as letting the other team shoot well from the outside. And that's exactly what happened. And they almost lost it today. Whew, breathing a sigh of relief. Of course, it's just a friendly, but getting prepared for the Olympics, it shows that all the other teams that they can look at Team USA as not an undefeatable team. They can look at with them with some confidence, going that if South Sudan can play this well against them, who knows what will happen. They'll actually play South Sudan coming up here in the tournament round leading up to the medal rounds. So they have another chance, South Sudan, to go ahead and try and get some revenge against Team USA coming up here in a few days. So if they don't take them seriously here in the coming days, they will go ahead and surprise Team USA once again. But it is Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much for watching this thing. Truly appreciate you doing so. What were your thoughts on Team USA's performance? Again, LeBron and AD leading the way again. Are you concerned, as Joe and I am, because the fact that Team USA is still reliant on two Los Angeles Lakers to get a lot done? I am, to be quite honest with you. It's really disappointing. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Somebody's got to go ahead and take command. It looks like it's up to LeBron and AD. This seems to be the way that they're playing. Very good for them. It looks like they still look fresh because of the time off, because of the early exit in the playoffs. But as Joe is concerned, I am concerned as well in regards to how much this will translate to them being exhausted for a part of the season coming up. So how much effort will they be able to go ahead and do? But Xbox says, good summary of the match, Gerald. I'm not concerned. I go for Spain and Australia. I'm loving it, but I'm very concerned, JSJ. I'm very concerned, Xbox, because they have these games in recent history where they just turn it off, guys. They just turn it off. They don't have the focus. So a team like Sudan, like Spain, like Australia, like France, a team that 1-12 doesn't have the same amount of talent, can stay in the game. And sometimes that's all it takes, because again, if you lose focus, especially on the perimeter, as we saw today, any team can hit from the outside and get hot. And they remained hot. South Sudan throughout the entire game, 42% shooting from them, 14 threes. That's the way to get it done. That's the way to get it done. That's the recipe to beat Team USA, and they almost did today. Yeah, Blue Wenyan Gabriel, guy who I have, as you know, on this show, longtime listeners on this show, I have been really hard on, because he is just someone, a fringe player. The one time he was really relied upon by the Lakers to give them some key minutes off the bench and couldn't do it. He did show some range. My gosh, 3 for 3 from 3. Good for him. Absolutely good for him and JT Thor, guys who are kind of like, still trying to fight for a spot in the league. So good for them. Good showing. May they take this for both of them and maybe translate into a regular job in the NBA still. I know JT Thor, I believe, still has it with the Charlotte Hornets, but once considered a much better prospect as each year goes by. He's been thought of less and less. So hopefully these two guys with their performance today can take that through the summer and through the rest of the NBA season. Hopefully find a regular spot in a rotation soon. Yes. Xbox says Embiid should be playing for Sudan. Maybe he's reevaluating that. Embiid just doesn't look like he's giving you that much effort, which is kind of hard. He was 5 of 6 today. I mean, in limited time, 18 minutes, but it just never seems like he's giving you that much effort from what I'm seeing. And of course, he's trying to be careful. I think he's trying to be careful to avoid injury. I really do. But yeah, Team USA has to be aware, whether it's a friendly or whether they're going into the round robin or the group rounds in the group that they're in with Serbia and South Sudan, I believe Puerto Rico, those teams, and then getting into the medal rounds. They need to be careful because all it takes is a couple slip-ups here and there, and they could find themselves no longer competing for a gold medal. Preps for AD defense, 2 more block shots today. Again, very effective. Shooting-wise, 4 of 12, so he could have been a little bit more accurate. But you know what? Again, 15 points, 11 rebounds. He has been the best player overall for all the games leading up to the Olympics for Team USA. So credit AD in that. Jeremy says, good to see you're a fan of Aussie basketball, Jerry. We are sneaky good. Yes, I give you guys a ton of respect. I know that Xbox doesn't always like my takes on Giddey. Because I feel I have to see more from Giddey personally. That's just on a personal level. I have to see more consistent shooting. No, I will never question Giddey's ball handling and vision. Will never question that. It is at an elite level, but his defensive intensity, or at least if he gets passable defense, if he's passable defensively, just like Dalton Knecht, what I talk about him, which Joe argues with me all the time. If he's even passable defensively, and he can shoot anywhere close to 37. I'm not even asking for 40%, Xbox and Jeremy and all my Australian friends out there. I'm not even asking for 40%. If he could shoot 37%, I think that you guys got a winner. So that's the thing. When he shoots 33, 32, that makes it a problem for Chicago. But I'm hoping for the best for the kid because I think he has a lot to improve. And at 21, he's going to be given all the time and all the space in Chicago to go ahead and prove it because Lonzo Ball ain't coming through that locker room, that's for sure. And also as well, you got to remember, I just wonder how him and Kobe White are going to work. I really feel for Kobe White because, again, he's the most improved player, one of the most improved players in the league last season. And I don't know if that's a great fit with those two, but you got to start Giddey and you got to play Giddey as much as you can. Bloodhound says Lakers legend Luol Deng helped to put together the South Sudanese team. South Sudan, the newest country in the world. They don't even have an indoor court. Yeah, give them a big shout out. They played with a lot of heart today, something that I don't think Team USA did. And I was disappointed by that. But then again, I have seen this so many times in recent years, everyone, where Team USA just goes through the motions and they lose focus and they just never get it back. There's so many ways. Awful coaching, who we were always talking about with Bronny, actually has some positive videos to talk about. Bronny has a very negative video on the coaching by Steve Kerr. And I have a tendency again to agree with him on the way that they defended the perimeter. Absolutely was terrible. And when you have guys like Drew Holiday, Derek White, supposedly some of the best perimeter defenders in all of basketball in the world, getting burned time and time again, it's just depressing at the effort that they gave as a team to guarding against the three. Make Sudan put the ball on the floor and feed it into the big guys as far as trying to get block shots and then transition. But yeah, Bloodhound says Embiid is dissing LeBron's age. He should shut up and wait for his gold medal. Again, Bloodhound, Embiid, he just looks like he's cruising through it. And maybe he's not pushing himself or he's not forcing himself because he doesn't want to get injured. And he knows there's a lot at stake now since they got Paul George. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's just he's just pacing himself until he gets to the actual games that count. And if that's the case, okay. All right. We'll see. Again, I remain optimistic about Team USA's chances. If Curry and Booker are hitting shots, I just don't see how anybody beats Team USA. But when they're not, like today, it's a big problem. Bloodhound says if the U.S. doesn't win gold, it'll be a big disappointment. Absolutely. This is the team that they picked. I would have chosen a couple spots differently. I mean, I know that, who was it? 7 Grand had issues with some of the things that we had said about maybe having a Donovan Mitchell on the team or Brunson on the team. I kind of like to have those guys on the team as far as that's concerned. I think they would have provided something a little bit different. But yeah, just again, this is the team that Grant Hill selected with his good buddies. It was already set and ready to go, including Kawhi and all that. So this is the team that you made, Grant Hill. So you're going to have to live with what they do. And if they lose focus here, not in the friendlies, but if they lose focus upcoming, in the round robin games or in the medal games, that's going to be a very disappointing and embarrassment for Team USA and well, just basically the NBA as a whole as well. But JSJ, how would you react if USA doesn't win gold? I would be disappointed. I'll be sad. I won't be 100% surprised, JSJ, especially after what we saw last year with FIBA. And there has been performances where Team USA just doesn't show up in recent years. The rest of the world is catching up to Team USA. So in 10, 20 years, we could see it even more competitive, and it won't be such a cakewalk for Team USA. But again, if Team USA focuses the way they need, like they did the other day against Serbia, they hit shots. They were playing well. They were passing the ball well. They were not making turnovers. They were playing a good defense. If they continue to do that, there's no one that will beat them. Yeah, we have the best players, KC, again. But as we saw today, what's up, Daniel? As we saw today, KC, if they don't stay focused, they're ripe for an upset, just like everyone else. If you don't stay focused out there, it's not like the old Dream Team where they could just show up on the court with a hangover like they did on most occasions, and they still blew out teams by 30 and 40, no problem. So those days are done. I mean, you have to come to the court. There's NBA players on virtually every team that they're matching themselves against. So that's something that they have to focus on. So I'm hoping that Steve Kerr and the coaching staff, again, Steve Kerr, after last year's performance and today's performance, is getting a lot of heat. And I think it's well-deserved because the focus needs to be better on the defensive end. Even when you're not hitting shots, that makes no excuse why you cannot focus on preventing them from taking threes. Play up on your man, guard up on your man, make him drive to the basket where Embiid, Davis, Adebayo are waiting to block your shot. KC says, who's your starters you would like to see when KD is back? That's a good question, KC. Well, right now, it's LeBron, Joel, Devin, Stephen, and Drew Holiday. I would probably, Joel just does not look like he's going out at full blast. I would personally put AD as starter alongside LeBron James. KD, would you bring him back as a starter right away, even though he's been out? I don't think I would yet. I think I would just try to, have him coming off the bench until he really starts to feel it. I would put LeBron and AD, not just because they're Lakers, but because they have been playing the best so far for the team. I keep Stephen Curry and Devin Booker out there as your shooters. That fifth spot is the one I would say maybe you can alternate. Drew Holiday, after today's performance, yeah, he did make 4 of 7 shots, 4 of 4 from twos, but he's supposed to be the main defender out there. And after a game like today, I'm not sure I would really, be happy with that. I would start Anthony Edwards as my 5th. Am I wrong in saying that, guys? Let me know. I mean, yeah, send the Cooper flag. I'm not saying I would be against that, Bloodhound, but let me ask your thoughts on that, Casey, and everybody out there. Does that sound like a fair and pretty good Team USA? I know we're biased because we're Lakers fans, but LeBron, AD, because they've been playing so well so far for Team USA, especially AD. You put alongside Anthony Edwards, and also as well, you keep Devin and Stephen at a good team 5. The only reason I wouldn't put KD on as a starting player is because he's just coming back off of injury, and I think you need to give him a game or two to work things out. So to see how it goes. Plus, having him come off the bench would be actually still really good playing against second teamers. So your thoughts on that, guys? Let me know in the comments. It is, of course, the Lakers fast break. Is there enough defense in the backcourt? Well, Drew Holiday was supposed to be back there today anyways. Was there enough defense in the backcourt anyways, Bloodhound? There wasn't. I mean, they didn't. You have Drew Holiday, who's supposedly one of the best defenders in the entire world from the backcourt, and he didn't do much to stop all the shooting that was happening back there on the end. So I'm just going to go with the offense. I'm going to see what happens, and if not, it doesn't work out at the 5-minute mark, 7-minute mark. You bring in Drew, you bring in Derek White, and then you can go from there. Anthony Edwards, though, he can play defense. He can play defense really pretty good when he wants to, and he talks that smack, but he tries to back it up, and I give him credit for that. So I'm going to say, Bloodhound, I think if you've got someone out there let's just take, for example, Luka. I know he's not going to be there, but let's just say take Luka. If he was out there, I would put Anthony Edwards on him and see what happens. Bloodhound says they took South Sudan too lightly. Absolutely. 100%. Yes, they did. South Sudan was shooting 60% and 50% from 3 in the first half. They still shot 42% from 3 overall. And yeah, for them, if they can, they could just keep up a little bit stronger, they would have won that game. And JSJ says Steve Kerr says better not start Embiid against France. I think that'll be the temptation, JSJ. I think they will because of the height issue, because the front line. And my God, what a front line it is with Wembanyama and of course Gobert. That alone is just scary right there. But again, you do what you can. You better hope your backcourt, Booker, your of course Curry's, LeBron's, if they're shooting well from the outside, I still think that they're better than any team out there. But they've got to have better shooting than 25% from 3. That's just absolutely uncalled for. These are supposed to be some of the best shooters on the planet here on this team as well. And the all-time greatest three-point shooter when he's missing a lot of shots like he did today. And same thing with Booker. That's very disappointing. But KD coming back to the lineup obviously will be a big help for the shooting to get that consistent. And we'll see what happens. But again, Team USA sneaks out with the victory 101-100 based off of a LeBron James layup with 8 seconds left. Just again, everybody's breathing a sigh of relief. It was only a friendly. It didn't count towards anything, but still the embarrassment factor for Team USA, I think, would have been that. So we'll see what happens though with Team USA. Their next game, I'm going to go ahead and I'll bring it up on the schedule here in just a second, but yeah, their next game is coming up here, I believe, in London as well. So looking forward to seeing what they will do here in the coming days before they get to the Olympics. And yes, their next game is against Germany, and that's coming up on the 22nd here. So that's coming up on Monday, the 22nd. That'll be at 12 p.m. high noon Pacific. And then, of course, 3 p.m. Eastern. That'll be on Fox, according to what we see there. Fox I think Fox Sports 1. That'll probably be, no, it'll be on Fox. It'll be on regular Fox. So be on Fox from London. It'll be against Germany. So we'll see what happens coming up here in just a couple of days for Team USA. But it is Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching, listening. Truly appreciate it. No Joe this weekend, but I look forward to having on Legend 350 tomorrow as we'll go ahead back and forth and hear his thoughts on Summer League as a whole. Who stood out, who didn't, and who looks to go ahead with some momentum heading into training camp, and how did the Lakers fare in his opinion, and of course his teams, that he watches, the Golden State Warriors, Atlanta Hawks. But we'll go ahead and do a general roundup of some of the standouts and not so standouts in Summer League, and that'll be on tomorrow. As far as who is on the summer teams, well, the Wagners are on there. To give you an idea, KC, as far as Franz and Mo. And Mo plays really well in international ball. It's a little bit different type of ball. So the guys like Wenyen Gabriel, Mo Wagner, those type guys, they seem to do. Dennis Schroeder, who will be on Team Germany, those guys really did well. Dennis Schroeder, if you remember, really did well in international play. I think was it last year or the year before. And that got him a look back into the league and got back that deal to get back into the league, and obviously parlayed it into playing with Toronto. Excuse me. And then he played with Brooklyn. After that, he got traded to Brooklyn. So yes, you'll have Dennis Schroeder and the Wagners playing on Germany's team coming up here in a couple days. That to look forward to indeed. So we'll see what happens with Team USA with one of their final friendlies, which will be, in fact, it is, I think they're friendly. Yeah, their final friendly is on the 22nd. And then the 28th, the Olympics begin for Team USA against Serbia. So we'll take a look at that coming up here. But the Lakers did finish off, finally, Summer League. Yep, they did. They finished off Summer League. And again, okay, guys, hear me out here. This kind of makes me angry. It made me angry the other day when I heard it said about Dalton Knecht. But okay, Mike Trudell, about an hour before game time. And the reason why I didn't do playback or anything like that is like, okay, if this is what the Lakers are going to do, why should we take that time out of our day to go ahead and do all playback stuff and set up all the stuff and do all the things that we need to do? Mike Trudell drops a tweet. Dalton Knecht, Bronny James, and Maxwell Lewis will not play in today's final Summer League game in Vegas versus Chicago. It's a team medical decision based on volume of practices and games through the California Classic and Las Vegas, aka they're load managing their contracted players, the guaranteed contracted players. So no Dalton, no Bronny, no Maxwell Lewis for today's game against the Chicago Bulls. So if that's the case, what do you say to people like, I don't know, Blake Hinson, Colin Castleton, Armel Traore, Sean East II, Tommy Kuzi? Those guys, Quincy Olivari, those guys have been playing each and every game. Vincent Valerio Bodon, those guys have been there for all the practices, all the games. Those guys have been putting in the minutes, especially Colin Castleton, especially Blake Hinson, Armel Traore. Those guys have been playing some good minutes. Sean East has been playing some good minutes. Tommy Kuzi was once a starter on the Summer League team. What do you say to those guys who've been there every game and every practice as well? So yeah, it kind of irks me when they say stuff like that. Just say you don't want them to get injured. Just be honest and say, you know what, we're going to go ahead. They've done their time here in Vegas. Bronny, Dalton, Maxwell, we're just going to go ahead and just, let them rest. Let them go to the slots. Let them go to the tables, whatever. Just go ahead and get them some rest. Well, the guys that were there, they wanted to get some, I don't know. You say that, KC, but when it comes down to it, who is left over? You've got the two-way guys, Colin Castleton. You've got Armel Traore. You've also got, of course, Blake Hinson. You're saying you want to see them get run. The Lakers wanted to see them get some run. Well, to me, I think that's still a mistake because guys like Bronny, Dalton, they're not going to get any kind of this. They're not going to get anything near this for the next 6 weeks till the LeBron mini camp. So to get this kind of work in for another game would have been, I think, even more valuable, especially for Bronny James. Especially for Maxwell Lewis, who's really had a up and down kind of a rough second time around. I really would have liked to seen all those guys one last time before they headed out of Vegas, but all right, it is what it is. But Blake Hinson did show up. And as I've said before many times on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break, I said that Blake Hinson has never seen a shot he hasn't liked or wanted to take. And that was the case today. But while it does often work out against the Lakers, as it has over the course of this summer, it worked out in favor of them today as he got hot quickly and early, scoring 21 points in the first half to get the Lakers out to a nice, comfortable lead. And from there on in, they just cruised over Chicago. Credit also as well to Quincy Olivari, guy fighting for a training camp spot, fighting for maybe a spot on a G League team, a G League roster, whether it's South Bay Lakers or somewhere else. He got 20. Grayson Murphy got 10 assists and 11 rebounds with 5 points. Colin Castleton only got 2 points. I think China was just mailing it in at this point. Armel Traore with 6 points. But again, Blake Hinson with 25, Quincy Olivari with 20, Moses Brown trying to fight for another NBA job, because he's been one of those fringe players. They see the 7'2" Moses Brown. They think maybe they can do something with them. But then they realize it's just hard to see because, again, for instance, free throws, he was 4 of 9 free throws. He did get 10 points and 8 rebounds. So the Lakers, in their final game of Summer League and a consolation game, cruised. They got out to an easy victory, easy lead, and cruised to an easy victory, 107-81. And yeah, he's like a Buddy Hield, Hinson, Casey. Yes, he's just a shooter. He knows what he's there for. You know what he's there for. I don't know if he can play good defense well enough to sustain himself in the league, but I think he will lead the G League in scoring at some point for some team. Maybe that will translate into a spot in a rotation. I've seen his defense's lateral movement. He's a little bit slow of foot, but the kid can shoot. And if he could be somewhere consistent around 40% shooting, my gosh, the kid might have a chance. But yeah, he is absolutely just a shot maker deluxe. Bloodhound says, could there be injury concerns seeing how Edey got injured? That's always a possibility, Bloodhound. Absolutely. I mean, we saw, if you remember, the famous year where the Lakers were playing and then Magic pulled, I think, Ingram out after just a slight ankle tweak or something. Just you're not playing for the rest of the Summer League, and pulled him out. If you remember that was actually happened live. I remember seeing that live, and I thought that was so funny because you're not there, you're gone, you're done for Summer League. So yeah, these guys, they get over anxious. They get very careful with these commodities. We've already seen a torn Achilles and 2 other major injuries in Summer League. So yeah, I can understand their concern, but it would have been nice to see Dalton and Bronny, and also as well, of course, Maxwell Lewis, especially because he's the one that needs the most burn, because these second-year guys, they have to dominate, and he hasn't been able to do that, which is of great concern to me. But Xbox says, hit the likes. What's up, Eric? Great to have you here. Just recapping the game. Thought I'd stop by. No Joe tonight. He is off for the weekend. He's with, I guess, company, as he says, for today, and it will be at Dodger Stadium tomorrow. We're heading out for Dodgers, so he's going to get more. He's going to get more tan. There you go. He's going to get more sun on the face tomorrow. So that'll be Joe watching the Dodger Blue tomorrow. But Xbox says hit the likes. Appreciate it. As always, Xbox. Eric, great to have you here. Again, the Lakers do cruise to an easy victory in their final game of Summer League, 107-81. And I will be going over with Joe or maybe one of the other guys, one of the other regulars, about the Lakers specifically in Summer League and dedicating, some of the off time that we're going to have leading up to the Olympics. On that, I do want to dedicate a really good conversation for that and pass out some grades for some of these guys and what their reality that I believe that they had. But for now, again, we'll see what happens. But I get, with the guys that were there today, they showed heart and effort. And for Dane Johnson, who was really feeling some heat, 0-5, and then a fellow G League coach gets put in a spot where you wanted to be as a Laker assistant. You didn't get the job. Another G League coach did. Lindsay Harding, I think is her name. She was the Sacramento Kings G League coach of the year. She got the gig ahead of Dane Johnson. So 0-5. Yeah, that was a lot of bad news and a bad time for Dane Johnson. It was here in Vegas, but he managed to regroup the team. They looked a little bit better. And then today they just gave it so much effort today with 3 victories ending in a row for Summer League. And I'm very happy for the team that they're not being ridiculed or laughed out by us here on the show or anywhere else they're out there. Again, it's a losing record overall, but again, to end your Summer League on 3 wins gives the team some confidence, gives your players some confidence. Some of these guys will be going to camp with the Lakers, the two-way guys at least. Maybe Olivari might make, the team, as far as not the team, but he might make the camp. But again, for these guys, some of them, like for instance, when it comes to Kuzi, who's headed back, I think he's headed back to Italy, if I'm not mistaken, from his experience here. I know anybody big fans of Kuzi out there, go follow him in the Italia League. He's about 26, 27, so this may have been his swan song in Summer League. So some of these guys you may never see again because they'll be playing out and about in the G League and Europe and maybe China, maybe Israel, maybe Australia, somewhere out there. But give them some effort. They give them some credit. They got 3 out of 8. They won their last 3, and they head home. They can hold their heads high because especially after today, they gave a great effort with a 107-81 victory. But I just thought I'd come back here, give you guys an update of what's going on. Team USA again squeaking out the victory, and did not make it easy at all. 101-100 behind LeBron James, 10 of 14 from the field. 2 of 3 from 3, 8 of 11 overall as far as from the 2-point area, 23 points, 7 of 6, 6 rebounds. AD didn't shoot well, 4 of 12, but still 15 points, 11 rebounds, 2 block shots. Again, the best player overall so far for Team USA has been AD, and they pull out the 101-100 victory. Cannot be happy with that if you are Team USA fan and also a Team USA supporter, plus also Team USA as well. They're probably not exactly thrilled right now and probably heard it from their coach. But Casey said Kuzi was solid. Yeah, Kuzi was solid. He was solid. You could see it because he's the balding guy, already old, 26, 27-year-old as far as a player that's playing at that level as far as in the Summer League, a veteran. But yeah, he was just seeing what he could do there, what level he could still play at. But I believe he is headed back to the Italian league. So I wish him all the best. And he's got a throwback kind of game. I love the hook shot that he kept on throwing up there. Yeah, it's a crafty little player. Yeah, he was KC. Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Hill City Ninja says Lakers get another big. Absolutely. Preaching to the choir, Hill City. Something we've been saying all the time here. Our audience has been saying all the time as well. And it's just disappointing that Rob did not address it and cannot address it at this point until he moves one of the other players because he's right against the salary cap. He's right against that second tax apron by $45,000. So he literally cannot do anything unless he moves successfully one of the dead weight players on his team. And I know the other night people were, I think it was JSJ, you said he was surprised at my answer about how many players, if I could just sweep off some of the players, how many I'd sweep off. And I think I mentioned 8 players I would just immediately just wipe off as far as it's concerned. But the Lakers don't have enough second round picks for all those guys, but they do have second round pick or 2 that they could give away to trade for another, to trade one of the players like a Cam Reddish or, one of the other players just to get another big body on the team. But there's also other teams that I need New Orleans. Who is going to start at center for New Orleans? It looks like Zion's going to start at center for New Orleans because they don't have a big now that Jonas walked over to Washington to sign that 3-year deal. Although I may bet money on if Jonas does not stay in Washington throughout their entire contract. There's no way I think that Jonas will be still in Washington. And I think he knows that he'll be a trade fodder, but he wanted to sign that secure 3-year deal, $30 million deal. He got his money. So I'm maybe as early as the trade deadline this season, he'll be gone. But New Orleans doesn't have a center. There's other teams that need a big. New York, Mitchell Robinson is the only big there, and he has injury issues, which everybody has seen. I like Mitchell Robinson's player, but he gets injured a lot, and they need a big guy for sure. Precious Achiuwa is still out there, but he's not a big. He's a 6'9" player, but he can't shoot from the outside. Jeremy says, surely we can give a couple of second rounders to get off Fresh's contract or any chance of Tyus Jones. See, that's a solid player, Jeremy, and he is still out there. There's still a lot of players that are out there that are or were regular parts of rosters for the past few years. I keep mentioning Landry Shamet and Davis Bertans. And with those guys, remember, those guys got nice, fat contracts 3, 4, 5 years ago, and they finally ran out. But the problem is the league has changed. You need more than one skill. You can't be just a specialist in one category. You need more all-around skill to stay in the league. And I think with Davis Bertans and Landry Shamet, you see that. I mean, those guys, 38 to 40% shooters, that's great, but they don't do anything else. That's the reason why they're out looking for a job right now. So Gary Trent Jr., everybody's raving that he is the steal of free agency because he signed a minimum contract because he couldn't find a better paying, his career took a downturn in Toronto, but I still believe he will be able to start. I think he got a guarantee to start in Milwaukee, and that's where he's going to be. And I think that was a good move by Milwaukee. I think he could play and would have been a great addition. But Tyus Jones, the only thing is, though, Jeremy, you've got JHS. If he is, I don't know his status. I just saw him in street clothes the other day on the Lakers bench. But supposedly, will he be healthy by the time that comes around? Then you've got Gabe Vincent. So do you want Tyus Jones to come in there as your backup? Then you're going to have to jettison Gabe Vincent, or you're going to have to jettison JHS, and we'll see what happens. But I like Tyus Jones better than either of those guys that I mentioned. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, they have to get off one of those underwhelming contracts, the Jackson Hayes, the Christian Woods, the Cam Reddishes of the world, Maxwell Lewis. I'm sorry, he is underperformed at this point in time. He should be dominating the summer league, and he didn't look like he was dominating the summer league. So yeah, it's a shame. So we're stuck between a rock and a hard place right now, and I can't wait to see what if anything Rob does with it, because this literally could be the roster that we have going into the season, and that is not going to get it done, in my opinion. I mean, Vegas, if you heard the Lakerholics earlier today, they reported to you guys out there that the Lakers are 44.5 at almost all the gambling sites that are out there. 44.5 for wins this upcoming season. That's even worse than last year. So yeah, that's disappointing. Jeremy says, yeah, I think we need to give up on JHS. I've seen absolutely zero for him. I mean, he did have the back issues. I've been saying he was a bust pretty much from the get-go. So hopefully he changes that around. But you're right. At what point do you give up on him? Because he's taking up a little more than the minimum. I think it's like $4 or $5 million. That's as opposed to what some of the other guys are taking up. Jeremy says, and we can't tank. Yeah, we can't tank. Rock in a hard place. We can't build a team efficiently because we're stuck next to the second tax apron, and we can't tank to get Cooper Flagg or one of the top 5 or 6 guys that are out there, which are all supposedly, and some of them I've seen already, game changers, because we don't have our draft pick. New Orleans does. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? JSJ says, I don't know how Juan is optimistic about this team. You know what? All props to Juan for doing it. I see things realistically. He sees things a little bit differently. He's like Laker Tom. Laker Tom sees things through a purple and gold colored shade and sometimes doesn't see the reality of things. But, that's more power to him for their positivity. So it is frustrating. But just the way I was brought up to, if you see it a certain way, to me, it is that certain way. And it just, that's how I see it. So if people say I'm negative or Joe's negative or whatnot, we come on the show but that's my honesty. That's what I say. I try not to BS you guys. Jeremy says, watch the space. Braun and AD will be gassed when the season starts. That's my concern as well, Jeremy. They are only playing 21, 22, 23 minutes, Jeremy, but that's still a lot of burn. And it's only going to get more in the medal rounds. Do you think LeBron is just going to play 20 minutes in the medal round games? He's probably going to be jacked up a little more. AD, if he keeps playing the way he's been playing, he's going to be jacked up a little bit more. So that's the problem. Oh, yeah, that's right, Eric. Thank you. I forgot about that. Yes, Eric, all props to you, Eric. Yeah, Atlanta has the pick now. Atlanta's just going, yeah, that's right, because New Orleans gave the pick up for the DeJounte Murray trade. Yes, I mentioned that several times. Just forgot. It slipped my mind. Yes. So Atlanta is now the benefactor for the Lakers. So, yes. Xbox says, if LeBron doesn't win the Olympics, surely he drops out of the top 2 players of all time. In his mind, he is top 2. That greatest player debate, it's just, I see so much hate for LeBron online, and a lot of it's based off him, the individual, and what he said and what he's done online and done as far as in social media and during the games and whatever. And I just know that if I were to create the best player based off of attributes. So let's say go to 2K, you go to 2K, you're playing 2K and you go into the creator mode and you create the best player you can. It would probably come closest to LeBron James as far as size, speed, athletic ability to shoot, ability to pass, rebound, etc. And the ability to be athletic enough and the agility to play defense. He has done it all and he can do it all. But do I think he's the greatest player of all time? No, I saw Michael Jordan. I saw him out on the court every day. I had feed to WGN, even in Los Angeles. I had a feed to WGN. I was watching WGN games all the time. Why would I be watching Chicago Bull games all the time? Because of Michael Jordan and just the excellence that he had. Teams were building defenses based off of what Jordan was doing. The Jordan rules was a real thing. And to me, I can't take my eyes or I can't decide to go with LeBron or anyone else because of that. As much as I would say personally, LeBron, Wilt Chamberlain, Kobe, they're in that conversation. I just say, you know what? There's a reason why he's the logo. There's a reason, not the logo. He's the Nike logo. Sorry, Jerry West. He's the Nike logo. It's that I think that Michael Jordan was just that great. Yeah, it's plus results. To quote Joe, he's in results business. no better results than what Michael Jordan has. So Kurt Rivera says, how can LeBron think he's the best player in the Olympics when that's clearly Josh Giddey? Don't troll Xbox. You guys are crazy. Eric says the GOAT debate is like going down. Yeah, Eric, it just gets into nastiness. It's like politics here in the United States. It's like a lot of things. It just gets into nastiness. People cannot have constructive discourse with each other without getting into like name calling and whatnot. People were like, why did you go ahead and ban Pale Fox and whatnot? Because I would share my opinion. I proved Joe wrong again. Joe was denying it. Pale Fox went out and started insulting me on a personal level. I'm not having it. And there you go. You cannot, I would like to have a constructive discourse with you guys and back and forth. I treat you guys with respect. Please do so in kind. That's all I ask. That's all Joe should ask. That's all we ask. And then when you're not, we're not just going to be some automatron and just take it and take it and take it, because we want to have a good show. We want to enjoy this. We want to enjoy doing this. I'm not Mr. Beast. I don't make the Mr. Beast type of, volume, money, whatnot. I do this for you guys. I mean, there's not a 200, 300 people on the show tonight. There's just you and my regular crew that's out there that's watching this. And I'm doing it because I like talking to you guys. And I hope you like listening to me too. So enough of the rant, enough of the soapbox stuff. But again, the Lakers did win 107-81 to finish off their summer league season at 3-5. Bloodhound says Giddey might be the greatest player to come out of the Southern Hemisphere. Xbox says, trust me, this Giddey fan club is real fun, and we would follow him off and on and off the court. Well, off the court, Xbox, you got to tell Giddey to be a little bit wiser off the court. Getting himself in trouble like that, that's not smart. That is not smart. That's all I'll say. Xbox says, we love it, Gerald. Man, I watched like 7 Cosmos EPs in a row. Thank you, Xbox. I mean, I am here because of the Cosmos. I'm in front of you guys today because of the Pop Culture Cosmos. I know I started another show in 2009, but when I went to do the 2016 show, it became a syndicated radio show worldwide. We were really doing well with it. It's just a fun show to do. I'm doing one tomorrow with Josh where we talk about Twisters. It's just a fun show to do. I mean, Josh and I, or Melinda and I, or my previous host and I, or what TJ when he comes in, we just have fun. This is a release for all of us. We're all nerds and geeks, whatever you want to say, but we just have fun talking about pop culture because it doesn't provide any type of angst or anger. You just share your thoughts and your opinion and your love for pop culture, whether you like or dislike something. Nobody really gets on your case for it, and that's why it's really enjoyable when I do the Cosmos. So I'm glad that comes through. I'm glad you enjoy it, Xbox. It's really just something fun that I still do and enjoy each and every week. Every time I stop by and talk pop culture with my good friends Josh and Melinda and TJ and everyone else that stops by as well. So can't wait to hear your thoughts on the new Twister and Deadpool. I'm so happy for Twister. I was concerned about that. I saw the original Twister. Wasn't the biggest fan of it. Thought it was a little corny here and there, but you know what? It was a good enough movie. As far as box office wise, they never really followed up on it until now, and it's a big hit. It's going to do about $75 million here in the States, looks like, and it looks like they are. Well, now knowing Hollywood now, guys, you know that since Twisters has done a solid job of getting people into the box office, that it's going to be more, probably more. It is a fun movie, Kurt. It is. It doesn't take itself too seriously. That's what I like about it. But it's a good movie, and it pays homage to Twister. But the thing is, I wish it would have had Helen Hunt in it. There's a cameo by an actress, but it's not Helen Hunt. So that was the only weird thing that was there. But yeah, outside of that, it was a good time. It's good fun. Melbourne loves Giddey. He is popular in Australia. Curdy. Yes, Bill Paxton died way too young. Yeah, he's actually, I think he died, around 52, 53? Yeah, he died right around my age, which is scary. So, yeah, I know. Kurt says third one will probably be called Twisters. Yeah, I have a feeling you're close, Kurt. I think you need to call up. You need to call up the movie company. Absolutely. That Powell actor, I don't rate him at all. Xbox. If you don't, doesn't matter, because Glenn Powell is probably one of the hottest properties or actresses out there right now, because everything he is touching is turning to gold. Anything But You, Hitman, and now Twisters. He is making the bank. If he is cashing in at this point, so good for him. You know, he was riding along with Tom Cruise and Top Gun Maverick, and now he is reaping the rewards of it. So, Pax and True Lies, yes, absolutely. I enjoy True Lies. It's funny because you look back on it, and at the time, it wasn't considered a truly big hit. It was kind of a mild disappointment, but it made a nice amount of money. In today's market, it would be considered what it made. Adjusting for inflation, it would be actually a hit. But back then, it wasn't considered. It was considered a mild disappointment because of Schwarzenegger's previous movies were doing a little bit better. He got lucky with that Sydney Sweeney. My God, I agree with you on that. Absolutely, absolutely. Glenn Powell will be attached to every project at this rate. Yeah, he turned down the Jurassic Park film. But Scarlett Johansson didn't, so I believe she is involved in the next Jurassic World Park, whatever it is going to be. Yeah, she's involved with the next Jurassic movie, so that alone should have some star power to it. But yeah, if you want to catch what I'm going to do, I'm going to record a new episode with Josh tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll either do it live or I'll post it up ASAP. And we'll go ahead and have that up on YouTube at Pop Culture Cosmos, where we're talking about Twister's great success. I also made sure I sent him a note that I'd love to go ahead and make sure and talk to him at length about the importance of Deadpool and Wolverine. And there's a lot riding on Deadpool and Wolverine, not just the movie itself, not just for future Deadpool movies or anything like that. It's how much is weighing on the success for Marvel and Disney for Deadpool and Wolverine starting next week. And we're going to talk about that as well. But and also Halo behind me, the TV show got canceled, so we'll write an epitaph for Halo, the TV show as well. But again, looking forward to talking about that. But I'm also looking forward tomorrow, if I get a chance to catch up with my good friend, the Legend 350, as we'll talk about who did well and who did not so well in Summer League. And we'll go ahead and talk about that. Kurt Fair says Hollywood needs new leading men. That's why you're seeing guys like Chalamet, Paul Mescal, Powell. Yeah, Timothée Chalamet. I really thought he's outstanding in Dune, Kurt. You've heard me go on and on about Dune Part 1 and Part 2, and I really think that he is a major reason why. I just think he's just really got some really good acting chops, and I think he can do wonders if given the right role. But remember, it's all about the right roles. It's all about the right roles and whatnot. I think Denzel Washington's kid as well, he who appeared in Tenet and starred in the movie Tenet. I like him as an actor, John David Washington. I think he needs to get another round as a top billing. I think he'll be a good actor out there. But yeah, there's some good actors out there. Paul Mescal, yes, who you're going to see in the Gladiator movie, Gladiator Part 2. If you've seen the trailer actually posted on the Pop Culture Cosmos, yeah. Gladiator 2, a lot of big hype on that one, so we'll see what happens there. But Xbox says, it's not the dude one of the Kardashians expect him to have, as they all do, Xbox, yeah. You always remember John David Washington from Ballers. Yes, I remember Ballers as well, absolutely. Comic-Con is next week, yes. And if you're at Comic-Con, you better line up early because they are going to give you the opportunity to see Deadpool and Wolverine first. And well, actually not first. I think they've already started screenings and whatnot. They already screened about half an hour to the press. I think they've already started screenings around them, but you get on drift. They'll be one of the first to see it if you're at Comic-Con, but you better line up early like you have to for everything. So go ahead and make sure you stop by there. But yeah, just great conversation with you guys. This is the kind of thing I enjoy. I just thought I'd come on tonight and make sure give you my thoughts on Team USA barely escaping South Sudan 101 to 100. And then also as well, the Lakers finishing off their summer league with a 107 to 81 victory. Again, it did not have Dalton Knecht, did not have Bronny James, did not have Maxwell Lewis, but a big shout out to the guys that were there. They, even though they played every game, and the other guys were told that they were, low managed to load managed. These guys weren't low managed. Big shout out to Blake Hinson, Armel Traore, Colin Castleton, Vincent Valerio Bodons, Sean East II, Tommy Kuze, Quincy Olivari. Those guys were there, in and out there, all the way back to California Classic. And yeah, they didn't come out with the greatest record in the world, but they did win their last 3 in a row, and hopefully will be able to continue their basketball careers, whether it's with the Lakers or somewhere else. So I wish them, Buzelis, Kurt, I told you I had my reservations on Buzelis. I think I still have my reservations on Buzelis. I saw him here live, at Henderson for the G League Ignite. I saw him play when we were on playback against Sar, and Sar owned him really, really badly. I don't know. I've not been impressed by Buzelis every time I've seen him. So I'm hoping I will be wrong on Buzelis, because the Bulls are struggling. Bulls, I don't know what the Bulls are doing. If you are a fan of the Bulls out there, I just want to say, you know what, with all the problems we have with the Lakers right now, I think the Bulls are effed up even more. I think they are really between a rock and a rock, because at least we got LeBron and AD. You guys with the salary cap issues, you guys can't tank because you got enough players to go ahead and at least be mediocre. You can't get rid of your assets because of the, like the Zach LaVine, because the cost is too much on his contract. People are balking at that. You've got a guy that has a destroyed knee, may never play again in the league. Yeah. They don't know you're right, Kurt. They don't know what their identity is. Kurt doesn't even own himself in the summer. Yeah. Sar, I don't know what happened to Sar. I think Atlanta has not set him up for success. I would have gotten that kid some easy baskets right away instead of just putting him outside from 3 and just having him chuck up threes. But we'll see. I mean, it's Washington. I'm sorry, Washington. So yeah, Washington, they've got their work done with Alexander Sar. Risa Shea looked okay. I like Shepherd. I thought Shepherd really looked good. Reed Shepherd from Houston, I really thought he looked good, not just in the Lakers game where I saw live. I thought he looked good after it. I think he early on may be the best player. I know that there were some injury concerns and they didn't get much time for Zach Edey, everybody's favorite now for Rookie of the Year, but we'll see what happens. D'Lo for Giddey, trade winner. Xbox, I would consider that. I would do that because the fact D'Lo is leaving the team one way or the other, whether you trade him or he leaves in free agency at some point in time. That probably is the destiny for him, because I don't think you can win big with D'Lo. I mean, the farthest we got was the Western Conference Championship, as far as the finals with him. But you saw once he got to a certain point, once his shot started to leave him a little bit, everything else stuck out and they targeted him. And that's the problem with D'Lo, and he's a nice player. He's a good regular season player to have, but if he's one of your guys you need to count on as a top 3 player on your team, that's going to get you. It's going to get you in trouble. But I would do it. I would do it, Xbox, because Giddey, you're banking on the future with Giddey. You're banking on the future, and plus he has enough tenure under his belt to play at a level now. But man, Xbox, even you got to admit, he's got to up his game from outside. He's got to shoot better from 3. He can be the defensive issue, whatnot, if he could just stroke it consistently from 3. So Kurt says Lakers should trade for all the Aussie players, get Giddey, Furphy, and Ben Simmons. The Ben Simmons, Kurt, I'd always said, if you give me a first or 2 firsts, I'll take his contract. Now I would love his contract because he's got $40 million coming off the books this final year. That Ben Simmons world's worst contract is finally in its last season, guys. So there's no way Brooklyn is actually there. You can call all you want. They are saying no, no, no to Ben Simmons, because why? You've got 40 million coming off the books at season's end. Absolutely would love that. So yeah, but I would have loved to have gotten Ben Simmons if you give me like a couple firsts, because having 40 million coming off the books right now would have been really cool. But yeah, that's we'll see what happens. But Giddey has like a hitch to shot, never looks calm. Yeah, that's the thing, Jeremy. But Xbox, again, I want him to succeed. I really do. But he has got to go ahead and shoot more consistently. And we'll see. If he does, watch out. He could make some noise in Chicago. So we'll see. But it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us for this evening. I'll be back hopefully tomorrow. Legend 350 and I, if we can find out and work out a time, we'll be back together to talk Summer League, about the highs and the lows for not only the Lakers, but his teams, the Atlanta Hawks and the Golden State Warriors, but also who did well out there that you guys might not know what happened here in Vegas. I got a chance to see some games here in Vegas and enjoyed my time in doing so. But yeah, I'd love to go ahead and chat some Summer League, because in some cases, you take the Summer League momentum and it really starts to help out with your confidence. So we'll see which players might have that confidence heading into training camp here in about 2 months. Don't go by quickly, everyone. So looking forward to that. But yes, we will go ahead and talk about that and so much more. I just, again, appreciate all the compliments. I'm giving you the love back that you give me. I truly cannot thank you enough for spending time on your weekend with me. Xbox says, I want to go Vegas, meet Gerald. That would be me. I would love to have you guys come on down. Yeah, I'd love to meet you guys. You know me. I was hoping I'd see Roy or somebody out there. When I was at the Thomas and Mack, I was wearing my Lakers Fast Break shirt. I was rocking it out there. I was ready to say hi and talk to people out there if you knew who I was, but not yet, not that large, not that big yet, but maybe someday. But if you do see me out there, always willing to say hi. Always love to know that you're a good Lakers fan out there. And if you ever get a chance, come by Vegas, say hi. There you go. Kurt, Fremont Street isn't quite what you think it is anymore. It's all right, but it's not the Fremont Street that it once was. They've tried several times here in Vegas over the course of my lifetime, actually, or my tenure here, to try and build up Fremont Street at various times, put money into it. There was a Neonopolis project that kind of went. There's other times they tried to build it. They have a nice little bungee thing that goes back and forth on it now. They have a nice little light show. They have free concerts there, but the atmosphere isn't always the greatest. There's still some rundown hotels and things of that nature. So Fremont Street isn't. If you want to go a place to go get drunk, yeah, absolutely. I went there for a bachelor party one time, and we lost a guy. I told the story on the air. We had a bachelor party one time back in the 90s. So we went there, we went downtown, we had partying, great fun, yada, yada, this, that. I know that's the one where I told everybody where we spent $2,000 at the strip club, Club Paradise. That still is alive today. I'd never do that again. Yeah, we kept spending money for the guy and sending him from one room to another. Just here's more money, whatnot. So we left after that. We went downtown to Fremont Street, and we're all drunk, all doing all that stuff, all partying, all gambling, and then finally it's about, I think, 3 or 4 in the morning. No, it's 5 in the morning. Some of us had to go to work at 7, and we said to everyone, "All right, time to go." One of my fellow salesmen, because I was selling electronics at the time, one of my fellow salesmen, he's at the tables. I said, hey, Alex, you want to go, man? We're going to go, man. We're going to go. I'll catch up with you guys. Okay, so we all go home, right? A couple days later, he no-shows. He's been no-shows. He called out, he no-showed for 2 days. Didn't even call out, I don't think. His wife was calling us at work 2 days later, and like, what's going on? We checked. He was still downtown gambling in the same clothes the work clothes that he had, because it was suit and tie and all that he was wearing 2 days prior. So he had been doing that nonstop for about over 48 hours. And this is just like, man, it's this town, guys. It can eat you alive. It can eat you alive. Absolutely. Just, my gosh. 2 days later, his wife was calling us looking for. So I went down. Oh my God, man. There's more Vegas stories. Yeah, there's a ton more Vegas stories. But yeah, if you see me in person, maybe I'll share them with you. But rest in peace, Mirage. That is dead. So as you guys know, familiar with Mirage, famous for movies, famous for being one of the premier spots in Las Vegas for many years until recently. I always loved the fish tank behind registration. I just absolutely was I'm a fish guy. So I like watching fish tanks and whatnot. Yeah, they had a really nice one. That's gone. They had a great sports book that I was there for when, if you remember what was it? The year that Lonzo Ball got drafted. And yeah, that's the year, as far as I was there, everybody was just like cheering and clapping. No, Brandon Ingram. It was the Brandon Ingram draft as well. Yeah, Mirage has one of the best sports books ever. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the guys, it just gets wild. It just gets crazy. So yeah. I don't know how much he lost. He didn't say to me how much he lost. I did have a heart-to-heart talk with him because he did admit he's had a gambling problem, or he had a gambling problem at that time. So I did think he went to therapy after, but he was one of our top salesmen, and you could guess that it probably was in the thousands of dollars. So 1990s money. So you can just, guess how much that'd be. But Kurt says Gerald stops himself, or there would be no fun for the rest of us. But yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not that guy. You guys, you're once you're an adult, you do what you want to do. But yeah, his health at that time and safety with his wife calling, yeah, that's kind of got us concerned. So yeah, but it's going to be the Hard Rock. Yes, it's going to have this big, huge guitar, and it's going to fit right in. If it's gaudy, it's big, it's going to fit right in on the strip. So yes, I will miss the volcano. I know they lit it up one last time. I was actually on during the Super Bowl. One of my daughters and we went there for a Paramount experience where they actually took the entire layout where the volcano sits, and they made it like this theme park area where you can go and visit, and you see the upcoming shows and things of that nature, and then see a lot of Super Bowl stuff, related stuff at that time this past February. And yeah, that was a great experience to be actually on the area where they had the volcano. But yeah, they lit up the volcano one last time, but it is as of the 17th, no more. It's gone. Siegfried and Roy's. I saw the experience too. I loved it. I remember going there with my wife when we had just gotten married. Just a short bit after we had got married, we went to Siegfried and Roy's. I still got a picture of it in my living room. Yeah, that day, because we just loved that garden area, and it was just such a great time. So absolutely. But no more for the Mirage. One of the most famous hotels on the planet is no longer, and it will become the Hard Rock Hotel, which is so funny because the Hard Rock Hotel I originally worked at in 1995 when it opened just off the strip, where the Virgin Hotel now stands. So of all things. So now the Hard Rock Hotel comes back on after a Hard Rock Cafe was on the strip, which now is no longer itself. So now Hard Rock for the third time is coming back to Vegas. So yeah, that's just crazy. Seven Grand says, man, what are they going to take out of the fountain show at the Bellagio? I think that's the last standing thing. The Bellagio still today has aged gracefully, Seven. I really think that's the last thing they're going to take out, because I just think that is too iconic right now. That's a no touchy right now. Unless somebody comes up with something better, I still think Bellagio is the elite hotel, even today, in all of Las Vegas. Fountain Blue came in with a lot of hoopla. That's down the street, and now all of a sudden, after everybody was there for a month, and now look at it. They're begging for people to come in, and it's just about a mile away. It's about a mile away from the Bellagio, or even less, actually even less than that, less than the mile away from the Bellagio. So yeah, it's nothing compared to what the Bellagio Resorts Island, that's across the street. That's down the street. That's across the street from Fontainebleau. That's down the street from the convention center. That does its business, but it's not anywhere near what some of the the stuff right there, the Bellagio, New York, MGM, what used to be Bally's, I believe it's called the Horseshoe now, right in that mix, right there on Flamingo and Las Vegas Boulevard. That is still the focus. That's still the mecca of Las Vegas right there. JSJ, I remember that. It's still good memories. I used to love going and walking by on a Saturday night, just cruising by and just checking out the volcano shows. Yep. Absolutely. Line of the night to Xbox. There you go. Does anyone stay at that hotel where? Yeah, actually, they do. Xbox. They still do. The Wynn actually is a very nice hotel. If you get a chance, the attack happened in front of the Wynn. Then also as well, there's also the shooting that was in front of course, not Treasure Island. As far as in front of, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going spacing out in front of us, right next to the Excalibur, right? Mandalay Bay. Yeah, Mandalay Bay. That's where the Las Vegas Aces normally play their games. So yes, those two places are frequently still used today, even though both have had serious attacks and one shooting, one stabbing. So yeah, the Virgin Hotel is Giddy's favorite hotel. Yeah, it's off the Strip. It's about maybe a half mile off the Strip on Harmon and Maryland Parkway. So yeah, it's a decent hotel. But it used to be so much better as the Hard Rock. I'm going to be honest with you guys, because you used to have all the memorabilia. When you would walk by, I used to work there at the Las Vegas Hard Rock Hotel, and I used to walk by. I used to go on break, and when I went on break, sometimes before I go to where all the employees could eat food, because they would always feed you. It was like a cafeteria, whatnot, free food for the employees, which was a cool thing. Nice little perk when you can get it. You would walk by really classic memorabilia: Beatles, Prince, Michael Jackson, Red Hot Chili Peppers. You would name it. There was just like, whether it was gold records or clothing from famous musicians, it was just so cool to see. And it's just even beyond. It's like if when you go to a Hard Rock Cafe and you see all the good memorabilia, take that and a step above, because they really put the good stuff, the really, really good stuff, in that hotel. And unfortunately, they let it go to waste, but they're going to come back. There's going to probably even be better stuff on the one on the Strip here in a couple of years. So the T-Mobile Arena, it will be used for an NBA team. Yeah, $7,000. It will be. It's a nice arena. I go there a lot for Golden Knights games. And it will be. It really is nice. It's a modern, very classy 18 to 20,000 seat arena. MGM can hold quite a bit too, and then of course the Thomas and Mack where Summer League is at. But that Thomas and Mack is old. It's really old. I mean, that's like early 90s to give you an idea. That they still play UNLV games there. But yeah, that one's due, but it is T-Mobile. T-Mobile's nice. They talked about another arena. I don't know if they're actually going to do that. Of course, the baseball stadium, as you know, is going to be on the grounds where the Tropicana Hotel once stood, or whatever's left of it now. But yeah, they're tearing that down. So yeah, there is a Planet Hollywood current affair. It is called the Planet Hollywood Hotel. It's on the opposite side. It's on Las Vegas Boulevard. It's on the opposite side of the Bellagio, right next to Paris. So it's more of like a mall than a hotel. It's still a hotel per se, but it's more, people think of it more as far as the mall area that's in there, because it's got a really nice indoor upper class, high class shopping mall there. So yeah, it's really good. Will they bring in a Vegas NBA team? I think they have no choice, Xbox. I think they will have no choice. Plus, you got to remember, the NBA loves money, especially after signing that $70+ billion deal to get for the TV rights. there will probably be at least a $500 million sign-up fee that you will have to pay out just to get in the league. So let's say Seattle and Las Vegas are the next stops or the next expansion teams. Those two teams combined will probably have to pay $1 billion just to get in the league before they even start thinking about spending $1 on building a franchise. They have to probably spend about $500 million to $1 billion just to get in there. Eric says, so they basically renovated Vegas for innovation purposes from Evo to electronic expos. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Evo's this weekend, Eric. We're going to talk about that on the Cosmos as well. I mean, it's the preeminent fighting video game championships. I went to Evo. I've been to Evo before a couple times. I loved it when it was back in Caesars. It's, I believe, still at the Sands now. But yeah, it's a great event, and tens of thousands of people now are showing up to it, or at least thousands of thousands of people are showing up to it. And I'm really happy for the success for those people. They aren't always the nicest people to talk to. I remember dealing with them one time for press passes before. They were really cool. Then they got a little bit hard up on me, and I was just like, okay, whatever. I'm going to forget it because I wanted to bring my nephew along. I was like, okay, all right, I'm done with that. But yeah, Evo is still a preeminent convention now, and also as well the preeminent fighting game convention out there. So yeah, absolutely. Great to have you here. Xbox keeps up those steps, my friend. Bloodhound Gerald, how far is that Brightline train station from the main strip? That is a good question. I think it's a little bit, the train that's nearby, it's not as near as I would like it to be. I think they need to improve the monorail. They have a monorail that's been around here. It's like you see it if you come here, blinking if you miss it, but there is a monorail that hits some parts of the back ends of some of the hotels. That needs to be something that will be a lot better. But yes, when the Brightline train comes, I see right now, I'm looking at the location now, because when they make it, when it goes LA, as far as the high speed LA to Las Vegas, supposedly when that comes in, looking at right there, Brightline West, that's off the 215 and Paradise. So that is on the backside. If their goal's right, it will come on the backside of the airport, and that will be near, from what I'm seeing, if it lands there, if it touches down where the search engine says it will be near Town Square, which is about a mile away from Mandalay Bay. So to give you an idea, it's on the backside of the Las Vegas airport here. So that's what I don't know if they will succeed, to be honest with you, because the price per ticket will be cheaper to either drive or fly. If it's not cheaper to fly than it is to take the train, that's one thing. But if it is cheaper to fly than to take the train, people will fly, and that's the problem. But we'll see. I'm hoping for the best. But a full monorail is still something I've advocated for a long time on the show. And I'm actually, to anybody who could ever hear me, I've advocated having you come to everybody out there. If you're landing in Las Vegas airport, hopping on a monorail, you hop on a monorail anyways to get to your luggage, but hopping on a monorail to get to Las Vegas Strip or to downtown or to the convention center. If they had that, I think that would free up traffic and make things a lot easier. But they have this like puzzle. It's like an incomplete puzzle. It's like the monorail is like in pieces, and it's not complete, but would be just so good if they just took the effort to complete it and make something more efficient. Giving people different ways to access areas of space in Las Vegas would make it much easier, because during heavy periods like the Super Bowl, CES, and other times, it becomes like every other metropolitan city where you cannot move and you have big traffic jams. So it's just a thought. I've been saying it for years, but no one listens. But what are you going to do? Kurt says, now I have the Simpsons monorail song. 7 T-Mobile was built to have an NBA team. Yeah. I think there will be a team there in the next 5 years. I think there will be expansion. Now that they got the TV contract done, I think there will be expansion to Las Vegas and Seattle in the next 5 years. I think T-Mobile would be the place to do it, $7,000, but Las Vegas is a city of excess. If somebody doesn't like the setup the way they want it, they'll just build their own. They'll just, because there's space on the strip, Seven. If you came down on the strip just past the Wynn, just past Resorts Island, or in between Resorts Island and the Fashion Show Mall, there's space. There's space right after Resorts Island. When you get near the Sahara, that wasn't the Sahara, that renamed itself the Sahara. Yeah, there's space in that area that you could actually build an arena there that's been talked about off and on for years. If somebody wants to do it all on their own and get all the money and be a Steve Ballmer about it, then they could go through that way. But yeah. Seven says, I agree with you, but prospective owners want their own arena because they would get all the revenue. You would think. And I know that Joe always passes off on me when I talk about Jeannie Buss someday wanting. I'm just going to say this again. And you guys can hear me and not hear me on this, but I'm just going to say this with all reason, that if Steve Ballmer's Toilet Bowl, the Intuit Dome, if that actually becomes a hit, it becomes one of the marquee places. It gets all the concerts. It takes concerts away from the Staples Center. Starts becoming a highlighted place, as it may, because it's nice and shiny. And you know how we as a society, ooh, what's the nice shiny new thing? I just have a feeling, guys, that Jeannie will probably want an arena of her own at some point in time. If she keeps the team, I have a feeling she'll want it. She'll ask the city to help her build an arena of her own somewhere down the line. But that's just me. And that's just if the Intuit Dome, aka Toilet Bowl, that works. But yeah. All right. So all this talk of Las Vegas and LA, hopefully that you guys have been entertained by it. Hopefully I didn't bore you guys to death, but I'm so glad to have been able to talk to you here. Again, Joe's out for the weekend. He is going to watch the game. It's LaGrange. What's up? Appreciate you stopping by on Twitch. It is Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much again for watching and listening. Truly appreciate it. Follow my shows, Lakers Fast Break, and also as well the Pop Culture Cosmos. Looking forward to recording another show with Joe, hopefully this week. Hopefully Legend 350 tomorrow. Hopefully Josh with the Pop Culture Cosmos tomorrow as well. Kurt says as much of it we joke out into a dome. It does look pretty cool. I saw it halfway built earlier this year, Kurt, and you know what? It fits along with, it's right next to the stadium. It's right next to the YouTube theater. And it's right, I think they're also building like some shopping mall, or there's a shopping area right in between that area. Yeah. Looks good. But I'm just thankful, very thankful that they're keeping the forum and they're not wrecking the forum, that they're not wrecking ball the forum. I really would love to keep the forum, make that a historical landmark, please, for the love of God. Make that a historical landmark and do not wreck that. That in the Olympic downtown. Those two places, do not torch them. I would love to see those two renovated and kept alive. And it looks like the forum they have. So Xbox, thank you so much. Catch you guys tomorrow. Truly appreciate it. Once again, Team USA barely escapes with a victory, 101-100, and the Los Angeles Lakers finished their summer league at a whopping 3-5, although they did win their last 3 games and had their best game today without Dalton, without Bronny, and without Maxwell, 107-81. And truly appreciate you being here. Truly appreciate everyone being here. Truly appreciating you being a part of what we do each and every day right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.